couple of issues that we would want to raise at the outset. The reason we are going everywhere in the country and holding events is because universities have come under a massive attack under this present central government led by Narendra Modi. Jawaharlal Nehru University was not the first case that happened. In IIT Madras, we know how the Ambedkar Periyar Study Circle was banned. Then the attack went to FTII, Film Technology Institute of Pune, where students have been facing a lot of repression, but they've also been bravely fighting against this government's interference into educational institutions. This government has not spared any educational institution. In JNU, as you know, 6 students have cases of sedition against them. This includes Comrade Kanhaiya Kumar, who is the president of the student union, Rama Naga, who is the general secretary of the student union. I am the vice president, and the joint secretary of the union is from ABVP. And then the former president of the student union, Ashutosh, the former vice president of the union, Anand, and 2 of the arrested students, Umar Khalid and Anirban Bhattacharya. All of these 6 students have sedition cases apparently against them. And this government has misused the sedition law against students in JNU. Further, in Hyderabad Central University, we have seen how the attack started much earlier. With Rohit Vemula's death, the attack only came in the notice of the press and the people. But this attack started much earlier. And it is the same attack. In HCU recently we saw 25 students were arrested. 2 very notable teachers, Tathagat and Ratnam, they were arrested. 1 journalist was also arrested along with them. And they were beaten in the most brutal manner. You all must have seen the case of Uday Bhanu, who was a Dalit student who was just cooking because the university had closed down the mess and everything, and he was just cooking. And he was beaten up so badly that he had to be admitted in the intensive care unit, in the ICU. We in Delhi, we met the National Human Rights Commission on the 28th of March 2016 and gave the video testimonies of all of these students to the National Human Rights Commission. We hope and expect the NHRC to take very strict action in this regard. I would also like to inform you that on the 5th of April, the SC/ST Commission of the National SC/ST Commission led by PL Punia has summoned the Jawaharlal Nehru University Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, and has also summoned the Delhi Police Chief as to why no action has been taken against a university professor. There is a professor in Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Amita Singh, who said that Dalits and Muslims are anti-national. But we have not seen any action against these people. We have not seen any action against Appa Rao, who is being held responsible for his negligent attitude towards Rohit Vemula and his friends, which caused the death of Rohit Vemula. Appa Rao is roaming free, whereas students are being arrested. In FTII, 35 students have been charge sheeted, and this is nothing but sheer vendetta, revenge, that FTII students dared to challenge Gajendra Chauhan, whose only qualification is that he campaigned for Modi, and that is it. That is why these puppet figures are being installed in all universities with an attempt to saffronize the university structure. In Calicut, I was recently in Calicut and I met students belonging to the SIO, the Students Islamic Organization, who were simply protesting for their HCU comrades, who were protesting for the students who are arrested in HCU, and they were beaten up so brutally that you could not even look at the injuries that they suffered. And 35 of them were arrested, and some of them were released, and later it was only 17. And then the public prosecutor in the court said that the police wrongly imprisoned them. wrongly imprisoned them, and they have exams coming up and they were in jail for 4 days. Who is going to take responsibility for this attack on students all over the country that is going to happen? But I want to make 2-3 more points. This attack is not simply on the universities. We would be mistaken, we would be heavily mistaken if we think that the target is the universities. The Modi government wants to destroy the whole country, and they want to do it without any opposition. And the opposition is coming from the students. So the fight to save universities is actually a fight to save the constitutional values like secularism, like social justice, like economic equality, which is there in the preamble of our constitution. But the government wants to vandalize the constitution. They have already showed their disrespect for the constitution several times. In Gwalior, Professor Vivek Kumar, who is an Ambedkarite professor and a very, very well qualified professor in Jawaharlal Nehru University's sociology department, he was attacked in Gwalior by the members of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha BJYM. And not only that, they also tore copies of the Indian Constitution outside the venue. We want to ask some questions. Is this not sedition? If something is sedition, then this is sedition. And here in Tamil Nadu, we know that BJP has condemned the sedition charges put on the anti-liquor protesters. What does the BJP have to say about the sedition charges which have been put on Jawaharlal Nehru University students? We are very confident that these charges will not stand in a court of law. But Kanhaiya spent 3-4 weeks in jail. Umar and Anirban spent a couple of weeks in jail. All of this creates a chilling effect. Now this thing is important. This government wants to preempt any kind of opposition, any kind of questions that people are asking. And that is why students across the country are having cases against them. They are being arrested. We, in the context of the upcoming elections in 4-5 states, want to raise a couple of questions. What will be the issues in the elections that are coming up in various states, including this state? What will be those issues? Will it only be love jihad, ghar wapsi, cow slaughter? Will it just be the JNU case? Will it be that, or will we have discussion on some real issues in this country? The BJP in Gujarat, in a farmers' rally, they played doctored videos of Umar Khalid and Anirban, and they make an app which is called the Kisan Suvidha app, which is a joke on the farmers' condition. In Bundelkhand right now, we have a famine which has come up. People there don't have to eat, they don't have anything to drink. And we are making a Kisan Suvidha app and showing the farmers in Gujarat videos of JNU students. Is there not going to be any real issue of economic equality, of employment, of education, of agriculture, of development raised in this country? Why is the government, by raising all of these issues prior to the elections, why is the government trying to divert attention from the real issues that face the country? In the specific context of Tamil Nadu, we know that the BJP is not very strong here, but they are trying. They are trying to whip up communal frenzy. They are trying to whip up sentiments in the name of nationalism and whatever, and they are trying to divide people. We appeal to the people of Tamil Nadu to stay united and vote for issues, not vote on the basis. I am sure that the BJP will use the JNU issue, the HCU issue in the elections here. And we are here to answer your questions. We are here to tell them that don't communalize, don't divide people on these issues. If there are issues that are going to be raised in the Tamil Nadu election, what should be these issues? These issues should be the flood relief. Has everyone been rehabilitated properly? Do we have a comprehensive update? What about the so-called honor killings, as we call them back in North India? What about these honor killings? What about the cases of Shankar and Ilasavaran and Gokul? These things are on the rise, and this is not accidental. It is not by accident that honor killings are somehow rising in Tamil Nadu. This is result of that same politics of love jihad that BJP does, that RSS does. This is exactly the thing they do with intercaste couples. This is exactly the thing they do with interfaith couples. We specifically demand that there should be a legislation to protect intercaste couples, interfaith couples. People should have the freedom to choose their partners. People should have the freedom to choose what they will wear, what they will eat. The BJP will not dictate this. And we specifically demand that a Rohit Act, a legislation named after Rohit Vemula, should be enacted. We have had 2 to 3 parliament marches in which we have raised this demand specifically. Rohit Act will be a guarantee, will be an institutionalized guarantee against caste-based discrimination in university campuses. We have seen the case of Madras University as well, where some students actually tried or at least thought of committing suicide because they were pushed to suicide, and it was only after that that their suspension was revoked, etc. But many of these things are happening. We saw how in the medical college 3 girls committed suicide, and this is happening across the country, and there are so many cases that we don't know about. There are some cases that get highlighted through the media, but there are many cases that we don't know about. There should be a specific legislation, and if the central government will not do it, because we know that the central government will not do it, we have raised the demand, we have gone to the parliament, we have marched to the parliament, but if the central government cannot do this, can we have a legislation at the state level which specifically recognizes these forms of institutional discrimination against SC, ST students, which are not there in any legislation or any act so far, and also mechanisms to address them. We want to raise all these issues, and we want to have a student youth agenda in these elections. Will the students' issues, will the youth issues be raised in these elections or not? This is what we want to appeal to the people of Tamil Nadu, and I think that I should conclude here. The comrades from Chennai are here. I think they can also speak about the issues here in more depth, and if you have any questions, you can ask us. Thank you.
Have you conducted previously this kind of conferences in anywhere? Have you conducted already?
Yes. Quite a few places. Personally, I had press conferences in Delhi. We have been having anyway. Then. You mean the events to talk about JNU? Yes. So these ISA has a campaign. Every year we do a campaign from the 23rd of April to the from the 23rd of March to till the 14th of April. And this year, it's specifically, remembering our martyrs, Bhagat Singh and Comrade Chandrasekhar, etc. And this year, we have named the campaign as Utho Mere Desh, which translates to Rise Up My Nation, on the way of Bhagat Singh and Ambedkar. That is the name of the campaign. And so far, we have had meetings in Patna, Ranchi, various parts of Kerala. Madurai, we have already had one meeting, and it was on the 25th. Now we are having in Chennai, and we have had in Chandigarh. If I recall more, I'll tell you. But we've already had it many places.
About you,
Yeah.
the elections are already not the college in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Do you want to start the process of reaching the public regarding the issues what you like to?
I think that the comrades from Tamil Nadu should answer that in more depth, because I think they would have more knowledge about that.
Since you happen to give a recap of student violence in campus, I was just wondering, this is all, looks like a protesting the campuses, is there no place for you guys to have dialogues and discussions with the administration and management? Why resort to violence?
Violence where? What are you specifically referring to?
I mean, I've been speaking to students,
Huh.
but I want to ask them why do you have to always engage in slogan way and they said the administration is turning their ears to them and that is the reason. So, university is supposed to be a place where dialogues and discussions are encouraged.
No, sure, but the only violence that is.
Last time when you approach your administration with the issue,
Two things. First, you talked about violence. I am not sure what you're specifically referring to, but the only incidents of violence on JNU campus or on HCU campus were where the ABVP stood in the way of protesting people and physically confronted protesters, otherwise who were peacefully protesting. And there needs to be an inquiry into that because the role of ABVP, I'm sorry?
even that protest, can't we feel the
No, we always have peaceful. We always have peaceful protests. We always have delegations. Now, sloganeering, I don't know which sloganeering you are referring to, but we always have sloganeering in favor of social justice, sloganeering in favor of gender justice. And I think democratically we have that right of raising slogans. And I think that we have excellent models of peacefully conducting student politics in JNU campus. We have led so many struggles where we have gone on.
say, when you approach your management or administration with an issue, what is their initial response?
On what issue? You have to be a little more specific.
Like, caste discrimination.
Huh.
For example, the Madras University issue was about marks.
Huh.
Like that, it could be anything.
Huh.
What is the response from there?
See. Here's the thing. I don't know how familiar you are with JNU politics, but in JNU, we have, I will specifically talk about JNU because I'm from there. And we have done from everything, from peaceful sit-ins outside the administration building to court cases. We have done everything except violence. The only violence that happens on campuses is by ABVP. Let's be very clear about that. And anywhere, wherever there is a confrontation, it is quoted specifically by the ABVP members because they know that their government is in power and no one is going to touch them. Now, if you see what are the modes of protest that we have in JNU. For example, we will assemble, we will have a protest and then a delegation will go inside. We will talk to the administration and we have defeated very hostile administrations just by the sheer logic, sheer power of our ideas. In JNU campus, we specifically have an issue of viva voce. So for example, at the MPhil level, when you give your entrance, there is a viva for 30 marks. And in that, a lot of discrimination happens. And ISA has collected 4 years of data through RTI and demonstrated how there is specifically discrimination against SC/ST students in the viva. And some people are given 28 marks and some people are given 0 to 2 marks. And so we have been asking for the past 4 years for the reduction in viva voce marks in JNU campus. That case is still going on in the High Court, in the Delhi High Court. But through the Academic Council, the administration has so far not relented because they want to keep this power with themselves. Who they want to take in and who they don't want to take in. So it's like our politics has always been sort of peaceful, and it's at times we have police action on us, and then at that time you might see us, but it's we never do it violently.
What is your implement that you're taking? Because all that you said, probably, what is your initial?
It's really good that you already know because we think that our voice is not being heard.
Over you relating your demands with the government elections?
I'm sorry?
Over you relating your demands with the government elections?
Yes. We will go to all the poll-bound states and we will ensure that the BJP does not use the JNU issue as its political fodder. In JNU, we know how the videos were doctored, how Pakistan Zindabad was put in a video where it was not there. Vishwadeepak, a journalist from Z News, he resigned after this. Some members of the ABVP resigned because they saw how their university was being targeted unfairly. So we will go to all the poll-bound states and we will talk to people. We will talk to the press, we will talk to the people, we will talk to the organizations, and we appeal people across the country to reject the BJP model. And specifically what we are saying is that in the elections, real issues should be raised. Issues, basic economic issues should be raised. Issues of caste discrimination, issues of public spending on education, these should be raised. And this is what we are out here to do. And they thought that they could silence us by putting cases and putting us under arrest. But we realize as JNU students that this fight, if we don't take it up now, in 5 years we will have probably a nation. Why 5 years? Only 3 years we will have a nation where you will have one language, one culture, one religion, one dress, one food habit. So that is very dangerous. That is something we have to protect our country against. And that is our larger mission. It's not only about saving universities, but saving the country and saving its people from the wrong policies of this government. We see how Vijay Mallya, he was just allowed to flee. Does the government want to say that they don't know about Vijay Mallya fleeing? I'm sorry, if they don't know, then it's a very ineffective government. Then it's a very inept government. Farmers in our country, if they are indebted, they have to hang themselves. And here you have Vijay Mallya, a sitting MP, just fleeing the country, just like that. And the government is silent on that. All of their policies are hollow. What is being done in the Swachh Bharat campaign? There is not a single dustbin put up anywhere. They are collecting tax in the name of Swachh Bharat cess. Where is that tax going? What is happening with the selfie with daughter campaign? On the one hand, see, this is very interesting. On the one hand, they have this selfie with daughter. On the other hand, the Women and Child Minister Maneka Gandhi, she says that sex determination should be made compulsory. In this country where we have we have this one system that is working at least, against female feticide, the ban on sex selective abortion, in a country where people are so obsessed with male child, there the Women and Child Minister says that sex selection should be made compulsory. So, all of this is very hollow. They say development, but they cut the fellowship fund. That Occupy UGC was going on. For 3 months, we were camping outside the UGC. And we were raising the demand of fellowship. We want the demand for fellowships. The demand for extension of fellowships to state universities. Why is that not an election issue? Why is the granite scam not an election issue? All of these should be election issues. There have been cases filed against journalists by the ruling party for exposing, for reporting against the government. That should be an election issue. The people's issues need to be highlighted. And, not these fancy schemes which are like air bubbles, which are like water bubbles which are shiny on the outside, but if you prick them a little, they will just burst. That is what BJP is all about.
Even though nowadays social media is very active, so anything moves in Delhi, it's reflected in Chennai. So social media is very active.
Yeah.
Still there is a digital divide when compared to Delhi and Tamil Nadu. So you are having it here and looking after every issues like honor killing, like that, going to do in future.
The honor killing issue specifically we want to take up because this is something that the students of JNU have also been very concerned about. Thanks to the journalists, we at least know about these issues there. Otherwise, the thing with social media is that, usually it's only in circles, but we really need mainstream coverage of these issues. Social media can only do so much. But this is something, that should be raised at the Tamil Nadu election as well, and this should be raised at the center level as well. This is something that we are planning to raise.
What's happening in Delhi, same happening in Chennai and Ambedkar, same scam. So like that issue you are constantly more.
I did not understand your question actually. Could you please?
The thing is, you told that it's honor killing is different issues like that.
No, I did not say that.
Honor killing is a issue.
No, I said that I don't know what you call it in the south, but back in the north we call it honor killing. But maybe here you have a different term. I think that's what I might have said. Yeah. Same thing. No, what I'm really saying is that this is not accidental that honor killings are rising in Tamil Nadu. This is part of the RSS design. The way they have this whole thing about love jihad, who should marry whom. That is the Sangh affiliated organizations everywhere they are putting these sanctions. They are, if not the RSS directly, their sister organizations everywhere. They are, putting restrictions on the entry of Dalits to temples, on, what they can. In some places where, sorry, could I just request some silence? Thank you. In some places where Dalit men are just riding the bikes, they are killed simply for that. So there are these groups which want to divide the society on these lines. So that is something we need to be really aware about, because these are used in elections. That our daughters are being taken away. That sort of communal thinking.
It's not confined only to RSS, right? Even other religions are indulging this. Are you going to have a check on all these?
Yes. Our constitution is a very progressive constitution. It allows for marriage between different communities. We have the Special Marriage Act. It allows for marriage between different castes.
Concentrate on other religions also.
Definitely, whoever is indulging in these sorts of things, whoever is indulging.
Any plan to let any campaigns in the first state election?
I think that the campaigns I would let Comrade Bharti